In case you missed it, here's a Sports Animal Rewind.
Pleased to be joined by Knoxville's own XFC lightweight champ. He's undefeated, and he is defending his belt in Nashville this Friday night at XFC 26. Our guy, Hot Sauce, Scott Holtzman in the house. Hey, Scott, Vince Devin, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. You look fantastic, cut up. How's camp gone for you?
It's been awesome. This has been the best camp so far. I'm feeling great. Just weight is good. I'm ready to rock.
How mean are you feeling right now, Scott?
I'm feeling really mean, especially I'm carb depleted right now. I'm losing weight, so I'm extra mean.
Let's ramp that mean up to Nashville at least. Not too mean right now, but tell us about your training this time, how it might have been different. What did you do? Because you've worked with Benson Henderson and some of those UFC guys before. Talk about that.
Yeah, I started out before my camp. I was asked to come back out to Arizona to help Benson Henderson and Jamie Varner with their camps to get ready for the UFC fights. So went out there and did that. Got on the tail, jumped on the tail end of their camp and finished up for strong camps for both of them, and then started my camp after that. So it was kind of a seamless transition, and felt really good for my camp. And I'm excited for some of the improvements I've made, and in great shape right now. So just ready to show the world again that I'm ready to take the next step.
Now, when you say camp, what type of training are you doing, and is it kind of a camp atmosphere where you're just hunkered down, focused only on your training during this time, or how does it work?
Yeah, it's really monotonous, especially out there. I'm staying in a house with 5 or 6 other fighters that the gym owns, and basically like a little dorm. So all we do really is eat, sleep, and train. Is cliche and generic as that sounds. Honestly, when you leave the gym, you don't have energy for anything else. You eat as quick as you can so you can go to sleep and nap before the next session.
Sorry, Scott. We're here with Scott Holtzman, Hot Sauce, here in studio on the new Sentinel Sports page. In what ways are you better with your MMA game right now?
Well, I'm just continuously improving. I think everywhere. I think the biggest thing is just the composure in the ring from coming from sparring daily with some of the best guys in the world. I think it helps your composure and overall game. You have to be tighter everywhere. You have to be more technically sound in order to compete with those guys.
XFC 26, it'll be this Friday night in Nashville. They're dubbing it Night of Champions 3. Your belt is on the line. Another belt's on the line as well. What do you know about the card as a whole for MMA fans?
I think it's going to be another great card. There's some good local. It's a good mix of local guys and then some of the national talent they have as well. I know there's a big Brazilian guy. His opponent dropped this week, so I'm not sure. That's up in the air. But there's a couple female fights, bigger fighters. So it's a good mix.
So I'm sorry, Scott, go ahead.
It'll be a good one.
Yeah, so that'll be this Friday night, and it's available on AXS TV. And a lot of you may not realize that's on a lot of your cable systems. I mean, I have it, whether you have Dish or DirecTV or Verizon or AT&T, UVerse. It's there. Dish is channel 167. DirecTV is 340. Verizon is 569. AT&T is 1106. And a lot of people can see this Friday night. I got a DVR, so find that and check that out. So what do you know about your opponent? I guess it's a Roger the Leprechaun, Carroll?
Yep. I know he has a silly nickname, first off.
Given.
So it might be the battle of silly nicknames. I don't know. But he's tough. He's a veteran. He's got probably about 30 fights experience. He's a black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu. So has a good submission game and is really tough. He can take a lot of shots. That's his thing, is he'll take shots and come forward to grab you and try to outlast you. So just have to fight smart and take calculated risks and chip away at him.
When you're going into a fight, how much do you study the opponent and his tendencies and use that to alter your game plan, or do you just focus mainly on what you're going to do and not worry so much about the guy you're fighting?
It's a little mix of both. I'll take a look at him and study a little bit and pick up some tendencies, but I don't get overly caught up in what I think he's going to do. I think when you do that, you get away from your game. So I go out there and impose my will. I do know some of his tendencies, some of his favorite strikes and things like that. So, but I don't sit there and break down film and stew over it and everything like that, because you can't do that during the fight. There's just no time for it.
Knoxville's own Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman in studio with us. He'll be a part of XFC 26 this Friday night in Nashville. It's available on AXS TV. Look for it on your local cable or satellite system. 5'9", 154, Shield Systems, BJJ and MMA. Talk about that Shield Systems camp here in Knoxville. Has been there with you from the get-go.
Yeah, I've been there since the beginning. That's where I got my base and still continue to learn. Located inside D1 Sports on Hardin Valley right now, and we have everybody training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for self-defense, for weight loss. We even have women's kickboxing, all that. It's great. We have everybody from doctors to young kids training, so it's there's something for everybody.
Absolutely. You can follow Scotty on Twitter as well. It's at Hot Sauce Holtzy. That's HOLTZY. 5-0, 3 KOs. I watched it in that last fight with John Malo. He had mentioned last time we had John, it was bloody. Boy, it was. Those elbows. Hey, ground and pound game, when you get on top of a guy as big and physical as you are, it's trouble for those guys, and he had trouble with you for sure.
Yeah, he did. I expected it to be a much tougher fight, but obviously well prepared again, and just did what I do. So.
Were you surprised going to swing over to UFC? Were you surprised at the John Bones Jones Gustafson fight, and what kind of fight Gustafson gave John Bones Jones?
No, I don't think I was surprised by it. I knew that Gustafson was the first guy to ever match his stature physically. Had the same reach, just as long, and Gustafson is a good boxer. I think much better pure boxer than John Jones. So, I figured it would be a tough fight for him, yeah. For sure.
And this Saturday, UFC has the trilogy with Cain Velasquez, the champ, and Dos Santos trying to get that title back. What do you think of round 3 with those two?
I think Cain will take it again.
Really?
I think Cain's a little more well-rounded. Obviously, Dos Santos is the best boxer.
Yeah.
For sure, but I think Cain will take it. But judging by the first fight, you never know. With those small gloves, you can always be caught.
What do you think about those gloves? Because Joe Rogan talks about that a lot. Having those open gloves, guys get their eyes poked. Has that happened to you? And do you think that you'll ever see that change in MMA at all? Those open gloves? It
does happen. Now they try to regulate. The ref will tell the fighters to keep their fists closed and things when they're reaching. But I've heard through the grapevine that they are working on a new glove that kind of comes down over the finger more, where it makes it harder to open your hands, so it's more rounded. So I'm pretty sure eventually they'll try to do something.
Now, Little Birdie told me you're working on some walkout for this Friday, something special for your walkout to the octagon. What can you tell us about that? Is that set in stone, or you don't have to you don't have to split the deal to give us the details if you don't want to, but if
I'm
you're still working on it.
I'm not too sure yet on that.
Okay.
There have been some ideas and usually I do have ideas, and then when it comes time to walk out, I'm kind of seeing red and I forget everything else. So
you're just too mean at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about music? Do you pick out music? Do you just not care, or how does that work for you?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Okay.
It just depends. I think last time I picked Welcome to the Jungle, so I usually like classic rock type stuff. So.
All right. So what about gear for you? Because we talked to you about shirts. You have some sweet shirts now. Tell us about those and where can people get them?
Yeah, I just got 2 batches of shirts in 2 different designs. They're pretty nice, good quality shirt and some stickers. And also have some tickets available for the fight, too, if people could make it to Nashville. Having an open workout tonight at my gym inside D1 Sports. It's at 7:30. You can come. You can get T-shirts, stickers, or tickets if you want. If not, message me on Facebook or Twitter, and we can set something up.